Hello, this is Dean Takahashi from GamesBeat. I'm here with Amy Hennig. And she's this is your first GamesBeat.
My first GamesBeat, yeah. Thank
you're
you for
enjoying
the invitation.
yourself?
Yeah, it's fun. What a crowd.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Fun to see everybody.
Yeah. And you got to interview Phil Harrison on stage. And,
Yeah.
Wondered what your thoughts are coming off stage and chatting with Phil.
Oh gosh, you just always hope that it went okay and sounded coherent. You know, It's funny because I'm not used to being in the position of like kind of interviewing somebody. I'm usually on the receiving end.
No, I thought that went well.
Went okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. But that was
Too bad
good.
Phil can't fully talk about everything.
I
he's
know,
up
and so
to
like
yet.
I know I had this big list of questions, and he's like, no. But I know that that's what I was saying. Their next beat is coming very soon. They're going to talk about all the business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that's all the burning questions from all my developer friends.
Yeah. Do you think cloud gaming is really going to change gaming and change storytelling?
So yeah, I mean, like this is why I'm excited about, and I even just sort of call it real-time streaming because I feel like it's sort of probably not accurate, but it feels a little bit more all-encompassing than sort of cloud-based gaming. Because I think what it's going to mean is that finally we're going to be able to bring real-time rendered content to a much bigger audience. So not only to gamers, which is great, but also to people who don't consider themselves gamers and aren't actually seeking out games, but we know anecdotally that when they sort of stumble into a game or have their family sort of Trojan horse it into the home, they often find themselves really engaged with them. Certainly games like Uncharted had that phenomenon, as well as like Until Dawn, and Phil mentioned Inside, and so I think the opportunity for this stuff to just kind of coming right into our homes and into our devices, and sort of deeply interactive real-time content, I feel like that's going to be a revolution for our industry because our audience is going to get much bigger, which means we have to make a much bigger kind of portfolio of types of experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Just like, I guess, blending that sort of, single-player experience that we're used to with things like YouTube, where you can join somebody's experience and get in the game with them in a co-op way.
Or even just the fact that anything on YouTube could be a portal into an interactive experience. So imagine, you click on the trailer for a film, and after you watch it, it says, "Would you like to play it?" Right? And you go, "What?" And then and then suddenly you're in the world of the film and actually sort of exploring that environment, or watching something that's sort of like a rendered version, a linear version of something created in a game engine, and then that's just a little snippet, a little teaser, and you go, "Would you actually like to play the interactive version?" And you're right there. All you do is click, and all of a sudden now you're moving around the world and manipulating the characters and all the things that we're so used to. But I think, like I said, would be a revelation to an audience that hasn't really come up with games. So.
Are you a little torn, though, between sort of the storytelling part where you're directing people versus the player agency where there's lots of them coming into your game and changing your story or something?
I mean, that's always been the case, though, right? I mean, even the linear games that, linear stories.
Or the stream viewers even coming into your game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's no different than somebody going, well, I mean, when we make a game like Uncharted, we're welcoming the players into our game to sort of exert their agency, the experience to some degree. So I don't think that changes that much. I mean, I feel like I think I said I don't feel like I've quite wrapped my head around what all this will open up. Obviously my very selfish sort of angle is that I want to be able to continue creating narrative-driven games and experiences. And my hope is that these new platforms are actually going to let us do a much broader palette of those experiences rather than feeling like kind of where the game industry's been going is we're sort of kind of doubling down on these big AAA blockbusters, which are awesome, and obviously I've spent a lot of my career making that stuff, but I feel like we're not necessarily filling the spectrum of the kind of more finite experiences we could be creating, because I think we're all kind of chasing that big blockbuster goal. And like I think we've talked about, like these games are like twice as long as they used to be. Probably cost about 4 times as much as they used to. They take twice as long or more.
Do you have a sort of a harder time choosing what to do, or like got so many options
in my career,
available? Yeah, so many options to do new things.
Absolutely, which is why I've been sort of a little bit of an industry tourist for the last year, like just kind of consulting and taking short-term gigs here and there, so I can kind of dabble and kind of get some different experiences and exposure to different stuff. But yeah, and I'm trying to talk to a lot of people about where they see the industry going and kind of see who's kind of got the most compelling vision to partner up with.
I hope the events will help you with that too.
Yeah, no, look, it's been great. It's so funny too because it's like between. I feel like I keep like following the same people from event to event. We're all just in Dubrovnik together, and then it's sort of like we just saw each other, and now we're all here in Los Angeles. But it's been good because it's like it's allowed me to do a lot more. Sort of the networking comes to you a little bit, which is nice. Compare notes with people. So yeah, it's been a great event.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming.
Well, thanks for the invitation. Thank you.
Right.